Welcome. This is the third place where we discuss music and artists we love. Today I'll be reacting to Ren Money Games Part 2 live at the Sky Arts Awards in 2024. I've listened to the song before. Really excited to see how he performs this live.
It's a strange time we're living in. It's a very strange time we're living in. It's a strange time we're living in, panic and hysteria. Poor men learn that rich men don't care for you. Narcissist mindset spread like malaria. Sit back and watch the show. America, Britain split through fickle shit. Our government of hypocrites, a counterfeit. Politicians sit in parliament, not adequate.
Facts.
Needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street born in fire. Only joking, only messing, don't.
Okay. I like this stripped back performance, just the guitar, him on stage. It really builds that sense of tension, I would say. In the first verse, I think it's him showing the similarities between the corruption in Britain and the corruption in the West with Canada and just North America. Number 10 Downing Street it's where the government headquarters is. And Ren is talking about how he wants to watch the corruption burn at the top. I really like this performance so far.
Not adequate, needlessly bleeding, resources all dry. Turn a blind eye if it means a pay rise. Oh, what a shame it would be, I would die if number 10 Downing Street born in fire. Only joking, only messing, don't be stressing. I'm a peaceful adolescent, there's no need to be unpleasant. Write my thesis in a rhyme scheme to analyze the brain. My fingers on the trigger of a money game. Rain, 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 rain. A storm it comes our way.
Do it to him, Ren.
Those who rise, who distorted lies, poison in the veins. We like to point the blame, 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 blame.
Oh,
It's easy all to blame. But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Ooh.
oh man. Ren's vocals, his voice, his vocals are just so unique. When you hear Ren, you know it's Ren. And also, I think him saying point the mirror at ourselves, it's him implying that we as the people have to make the change. It's easy to put the blame on the people at the top because it's just obvious they're the ones that have the power and can change shit, but we as the people also can change with what we consume on the daily life, and I'm really liking this.
But point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Ooh. 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 This old money game. Money is a game and the ladder we climb will turn a saint into a sinner with his finger in crime. I'll break it down for you motherfuckers line by line. This is business economics in the nursery rhyme. She sells seashells on the seashore, but the value of these shells will fall due to the laws of supply and demand. No one wants to buy shells because there's loads on the sand. Step one, you must create a sense of scarcity. Shells will sound much better if the people think they're rare, you see. Bear with me, take as many shells as you can find and hide them on an island, stockpile them high until they're rarer than a dime is step two. You gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them, really want them. Hit them like Bronson, influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a shell, you're just a fucking waste, man's free. It's monopoly, invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shells must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. For expand, expand.
I really like this part. Him talking about obviously using the nursery rhyme, how he is using that to portray or as like a metaphor to the monopolization of our world, companies, and we just see it everywhere. You can look at BlackRock, Rothschilds, the banks, and also him saying that the people that are at the top have to just put their morals aside and lose part of their humanity to continue the rise to the top and just constantly taking it, taking and taking. It's a nasty business. It's a nasty world of monopolization.
Is step two. You gotta make the people think that they want them, really fucking want them, really want them. Hit them like Bronson. Influencers, product placement, featured primetime entertainment. If you haven't got a show, you're just a fucking waste. Man's free. It's monopoly. Invest inside some property. Start a corporation, make a logo, do it properly. Shows must sell, that will be a new philosophy. Swallow all your morals, they're a poor man's quality. 4. Expand, expand, expand. Cliff Forest, make land, fresh blood on hand. 5. Why just shows? Why limit yourself? She sells seashells, sell oil as well. 6. Guns, sell stock, sell diamonds, sell rocks, sell time to a clock. 7. Press on the gas, take your foot off the brakes and run to be the president of the United States. 8. Big smile, mate, big wave, that's great. The truth is overrated, tell lies out the gate. 9. Polarize the people, controversy is the game. Don't matter if they hate you, they all say your name. Step 10. World is yours. Step out on the stage to a round of applause. You're a liar, cheat, a devil, a whore, and you sell seashells on the seashore. Rain,
Emotion.
rain, rain, rain. Storm it comes our way. Those who rise, who distorted lies, poison in the veins. We like to point the blame. We like to point the blame. Point the mirror at ourselves. We're all part of this old money game. Ooh, 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 this old money game. This old money game. Thank you.
Let's go. Let's go, Ren. Let's go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was Ren Money Game Part 2 live. As you can tell, his raw emotion and how he's able to just pull it out of him just alone on stage and able to have that presence is just awesome, along with him talking about the monopolization and the corruption in the world. Show you guys something real quick. I had to get the Sick Boy hoodie or jacket. Got it for my birthday from my girlfriend. She's a huge fan of Ren. Ever since the day I showed her Ren, she's just been hooked. I've been a huge fan ever since I saw him. What was it? I think it had to be Sick Boy. Ren is just, he's your artist's favorite artist. He can play any instrument. I really loved what he was talking about on this track. Get more conversation about what you guys think. The state of the world. Do we as people have to make a change as consumers and going through our daily lives? Or is it really the people at top that we have to make the change? But me personally, I don't want to get too political, but I don't feel like the people that have been voted into office, whether it's Trump, whether it's Joe, Kamala, Justin Trudeau, whoever, I don't feel like their intentions are really to benefit the people rather than big companies. So I want to insert this clip to kind of further expand on my point of view as us, as the people needing to make the change. So I really hope you like that, like this, like and subscribe. Peace and love. Till next time.
You know, I'm the jury's still out, but as of today, the way I see the world is that it's not simple. And so in order to give this in a simple way, I'll try to like pare the understanding down to maybe a couple of spheres, as in what controls the world: money, power, people. Money is pretty clearly, you trace that rabbit hole up to the banks, up to the banking families. You know, that's a long storied history. It goes through things like the Rothschild banking family, which are still very much powerful to this day. The Rockefellers went in there, but it also comes to people like BlackRock It goes to places like private equity. And a lot of that is extremely complicated on purpose, so it's hard for you to understand. But inevitably, it pretty much swirls up to a few people at the top having an insane amount of power to just manipulate incentives, not to directly instruct everyone what to do necessarily, but to incentivize behaviors that en masse.
They tried it with ESG and DEI and things like that.
BlackRock's a big part of pushing those. Then there's the world of power, and that involves a lot of religion. It involves a lot of politics, and obviously it also involves money and everything else. And the world of power, you start to trace politics up, and you kind of disperse into various powerful families, various organizations and NGOs like the World Economic Forum. A lot of this is stuff that Alex and your whole network, you guys talk about all the time, which is awesome because they're kind of constantly evolving new organizations, new corporations, new NGOs to be the new face of the world order, so to speak. And then so that's like money and it's like power. And then I think the one thing that is most interesting to me that most people don't learn about in their regular lives is the black markets and sort of the criminal underbelly of the world. And I see that as including intelligence agencies, because intelligence agencies were essentially founded because the US government wanted to do things that they didn't want anyone to know about. That's the whole point of an intelligence agency, is to do covert operations, to do things that have a degree of separation. So if the operation gets exposed, hopefully the whole world doesn't find out that the CIA was directly linked to the guy that just tried to shoot Trump, for example. And so the covert intelligence agencies partnered with organized crime very early on, as I'm sure a lot of your viewers know, and they've been buddy-buddy ever since. And so understanding drug trafficking, arms trafficking, sex trafficking, and human trafficking, all of those criminal organizations, that is sort of the final bucket of what I see in all of these different sort of bases of power in the world. They work together, like blackmail in the black markets, that influences the politics and the money. The money over in the banking sector, that influences the politicians and the black, like they all interplay. And so they're inherently all aligned. And I think that there's different factions. You know, there seems to be, Trump has a lot of allies. He has a lot of people that he's, powerful people that he's come up with and still supports and support him. And then there's clearly like a Democrat group that is, Lord knows what's connected to that. And I'm sure there's other international players too, like Russia is aligned somewhere, China is aligned somewhere. And so it's extremely complicated. But inherently, we're not on any of those teams, except for me. Like I want to hope, I want to believe that Trump and RFK have people around them that do have the people in mind. But it's important not to put anyone on a pedestal and not to pretend like billionaires are ever really going to be on our team. So.
Well, I want to show the audience the overhead cam here, because as you were talking, I was kind of charting this out, and there's something first of all, I think that's one of the most brilliant responses that I could have ever heard from anyone in the history of the world at all. And I never thought of it like that, to actually tier it. We think of checks and balances in the government, legislative, judicial, and executive branch. You think of the three arms of corruption. You've got money, power, in the black market. And the thing that's interesting to me looking at this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, you've got the money here, power here, black market. The only way the money thing works is if people agree to take out loans and pay interest, right? Usury. Yep. The only way that the power works is if the people put into power the wrong people because they're ignorant. And the only way the black market works is if people demand debauchery, whether it's sex trafficking or drugs, right? So if you have a moral people who are enlightened, who are not dependent on an unjust financial system, then all of these corrupt structures, the bedrock of corruption, just totally collapses. So the solution is for people to understand the truth versus the lies. It is the info war. I mean, we can't fix either of these from the top down. We have to attack from the bottom up, right?
You have put it so perfectly, Chase, because it really does come down to a war of good and evil. And exactly like you've just elucidated, in a world where debauchery and corruption and lies and our basest lustful human instincts are incentivized, then a black market concept in all those worlds, like a corrupt version of all of that, thrives. And everyone's incentivized to be corrupt because that's how you get to the top of all three of those systems. But in a world where good people stand up and take power for themselves and end all of that corruption, suddenly money is about a free market where we're cooperating, right? Suddenly politics and like the power structures of government are about us cooperating to create a better world. Suddenly the black market is no longer incentivized, and instead the white markets are incentivized. And so you're so right that it's like all comes back to the core of our culture of what do we incentivize in our own moral fiber. And the more of us that look in our own hearts and establish a strong moral fiber of goodness, the more that radiates out into the more of us that can be good and incentivize within our own lives good structures and good morals, the more that the black markets of the darker versions of all this loses its power, right? Because it's only maintained by corrupt politicians being able to be put into power. You need corrupt people to do that. Corrupt bankers and financiers taking advantage of the monetary systems. You need corrupt people to do that. You know, corrupt arms traffickers, drugs traffickers, human traffickers. You need both the consumer and the trafficker for that to exist. And so the more of us that stand up to corruption and poor, evil, degenerate social morals, the more everything can start to change. Change starts from within.
And all these institutions have an incentive to debase the culture and the people. They want you all fucked up, basically. Right? And I'm sorry for the language there. You know, we have a family audience. Ian Carroll, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on.